Hello everyone, welcome back. Till now we were discussed about the basic object-oriented programming in Java. So let us look at some basic Java programs or how a simple Java programs will look like. So in this session I am going to explain how a simple Java program will look like. So let's look at this example. This is a simple Java program. Have considered this as a first simple Java program. So which contains a few lines of code, and I'll explain each and every line of code in this session. So the first thing that you need to remember about the program, or the first thing that you must learn about the Java, is the name of a source file. So whatever the name that you're given to the source file, or whatever the name that you gave to save the file, is very much important. So in case of Java, the first thing you must learn about the Java is that the name that you are given to the source file. So you must remember the line of the source code. So in order to enter any of the program, you must remember the name of a source file. Here in this case, the name of a source file is example.java. So here in case of this example program, this example.java is a source file. So here I'm going to use this as a name of a source file. So that is example.java. So why I'm considering this as an example.java? Let's see what is the reason for that. So in Java, each and every source file is also called as a compilation unit. So each and every source file is called as a compilation unit. So every source file in Java is officially called as a compilation unit. So whatever we are going to give as a source file, that will act as a compilation unit. So it's a text file which contains one or more class definition. So here in this example have a one class definition, that is a class example. So some of the few Java programs will contain one or more class definition. So in order to compile all the classes, we are having a source file as a compilation unit. So the Java compiler requires a source file which uses .java as a file name extension. So in order to save any file in a Java, we always go with the .java as an extension. We always use .java as an extension for the source file, whichever we wanna go to save a particular Java programs. So this is about how we are gonna enter into a Java program. So once we are done with the writing a program, or once we are done with saving the program, the next step is to compile the program, that whatever we are write or whatever we are type. So in case of compiling, this will in order to compile, the program will eventually follows all the sequence of steps. So here, as I said, the program name is example.java. So in order to compile this program, we must need a Javac, so which is a Java compiler. So in order to execute any Java program, we need a Java compiler, which is called as a Javac. So Javac is a Java compiler which will used for the compiling Java program. So this Javac will specifies the name of a source file on the comment line. How we are gonna specify the name of a source file is by using a C. C is a compiling statement. So by using this, we are gonna use this Javac compiler. So Java compiler program name dot Java compiler and a source file. So this Javac will create a file called example.java. So this Javac is a compiler which creates a file called example.java. Java. So this example.java will contain some bytecode of a program, will contain some details of a program. So the output of Java is not directly expressed. So in order to run the program, we use a Java application launcher, which is called as a Java. This is a Java application launcher in order to run the Java program. So to do so, in order to run the program, we need to pass the class name. Here, what is the class name? It is example. So the class name here is example. So we need to pass the class name as a comment line argument. So that is compile Java class name. So that is the class name is example. So we are, in order to compile the program, I'm going to give as Java class name. Here the class name is example. So I'm giving Java example in order to compile the particular program. So this is about a compilation. So once we are done with the compilation, it will give the output. Once the source code is compiled, each individual class is put into own source file, or will put its own output file, which is named after the class, by using a dot class extension. So by using a dot class extension, each and every output statement will be given. So it will contain the output statement. So once the compilation is done, it will provide an output saying that this is a simple Java program. So let's look at a closer view of a program. So we're done with how we're gonna enter into a program, how we're done compilation, and how we get the output. So after that, we'll just look at a closer view of this program. So this is the program that what I have taken as a simple Java program. It contains few lines of code. So this is the very beginning of a program. So it begins with the following lines, which contains some comment line. So it is slash followed by star, and it's ended with star followed by slash. So this is a comment. So this is a comment line. As I said, when I was explained about an overview of Java, I said about a comment line that in all the programming languages we have a comments. So like most of the programming languages, Java also allowed comment line. So the contents of this comments are ignored by the compiler. These are not considering for compilation. So this is not considered for compilation. So but this is used for a reference for a users. This comments are used for a reference, used for the purpose of reference of a programmer, or is in order to understand about the programs, or in order to describe about the program, we'll go with this comment line. So unlike the other programming languages, in Java we have a three different types of a comments. We have a three different types of comments. So whatever we have seen now is an example of a multi-line comment. So this is an example of multi-line comments. The multi-line comments will always begins with slash followed by star and ended with slash followed by star, which gives some fewer lines of code. But these statements are ignored by the compiler just for understanding purpose, just for the sake of a programmer. They'll give the comments. So there, as I said, there are three different types of comment. Other than multi-line comment, we have one more type of comment, that is, this is a single line comment which begins with double slash. So one more comment line is there, that is called as a documentation comment line. We will discuss that in a later session. So we'll have a three different types of comment line. One is a multi-line comment, another one is a single line comment, and the last one is documentation comment line. So we'll discuss about this documentation comment line in the upcoming session. But in this example, in this short program, we only considered with two different comment line. The first one is a multi-line comment, and here it is a single line comment. So the multi-line comment will always starts with the slash followed by star, ending with the star followed by slash, which contains some a description about a program, or it contains some uh, things which are needed very much in order to understand about a program. So here the next line of code in the program is class example. So here we have a next line of code which is a class example. Let's see why we are gonna use this class. What do you mean by a class and what is an example is? This class will contain two, one open and closing curly braces. So this class is a keyword which is used to declare a new class which is being defined. So here example is a class which is being defined. So I'm gonna use a keyword as a class in order to declare that a new class is being created. So example is an identifier, that is a name of a class which is associated with the keyword called class. So class is a keyword which is associated with an identifier, that is a name of a class which is newly created or which is being defined. So the entire class definition, including all of its member function, will be placed inside an opening as well as a closing braces. So within this opening and closing braces will include some member function or the class definition and so on regarding the particular program. So the next line of code in the program is we have a public static void main. So we know that the line begins with main method. So since it is containing with a main, this line of code will begins with main method. Here the public keyword is an access specifier. So here the public is a keyword which is an access specifier which allows the programmer to control the visibility of class program. So the purpose of using the public is in order to control the visibility of a class program. Here I am making it as a public. I'll give the permission to view the particular program for all. If I gave here as a private, I just give the visibility or access to particular set of members. So instead, I gave here as a public in order to give an access to all the class members. So this public allows the programmer to control the visibility of a class members. So the member may be accessed by the code outside the class in which it is declared. Since it is public, all the members who are outside the class will also have a permission to access the member function. So next we have a static. Here this static will allows us to allows the main function which is to be called without having an instantious to a particular instance of a class. So without having any instantiation variable, we're gonna use this static keyword. So once we are declared it with static, it cannot be changed anywhere across. So this is very much necessary since main is called by the virtual Java machine. So the next we have is, so the next statement what we have is void. So as I said in the overview of prospective itself, void means it doesn't return any value. So void, whichever the thing which consists with a void, it simply says that it doesn't return any values. So it tells the compiler that the main doesn't return any value. So next is a method. So as I stated, method is a main. Main is a method which is called when a Java application program begins. So keep in your mind that Java is a case sensitive one. So we keep in your mind or think that Java is a case sensitive. Since Java is a case sensitive one, main is different from a main. So this actual the both things are different. So since Java is case sensitive, this main is comparatively different from this main. So these two are different. The main is different from main. So it is important to understand that the Java compiler will compile the class that do not contain a main method, but Java has no way to run this program. So instead of typing a main, so instead of typing as a main, If you typed as a main, then the compiler would not compile the program. So in order to compile the program, you just find the correct way of main function or correct method of main. So the main method called when a Java application is begins. So the next is string args. So what it actually do mean is, so string args. So string args declares a parameter which is named as an args. So this is a string which is used to declare a parameters, that is args. This args will, it is an array of classes. It's an array of instance of classes. So whenever I'm declaring an instance of class string, it's an array which is a collection of similar objects. So objects of type string store the character string. So here the array args will store the object of type string which stores the character string, where args will receive any command line argument. Might be it receives multi-line, single line, or documentation command line when the program is getting executed. So it receives any command line argument which presents when the program is being executed. So the last line of comment section is about the print statement. So here it will begins with opening and closing braces, string system dot out dot println. Here the system dot out dot println. Here the system is a predefined class which provide the access to a system about a particular program. Then out is the output stream which is connected to the console. Then println is used to output the actual value. Output is actually accomplished by built-in method, that is a println method. So by using a println, we'll display the string which is passed into the command line. So by using the system dot out dot println, we gonna print the statement as this is a simple Java program. But notice, keep in your notice that this print statement will always ends with a semicolon. So this print statement will always ends with a semicolon. All the statements in Java ends with a semicolon. The reason is that other lines in a program do not end in a semicolon, is that they are not a technical statement. So since Java program is a technically oriented statement, or it is a technical statements, each and every statements in Java, each and every print statement in Java must ends with a semicolon. So this is about a simple Java program. This is about a simple Java program. So thank you.